So did y'all see the latest episode of Potomac? Did y'all see the title of this video? If y'all don't know what that means, we're going to break it down in this episode. Let's go.
Ready or not? Ready or not? Here I come. Can't hide. Gonna find you and then yo. I play my enemies like a game of chess where I rest. No stress, no success.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm B. Renee, and this is B. Renee Says, where I talk about my life in the entertainment industry as well as a working professional and reality TV, love, relationships, and everything in between. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified of any video that I drop. Now let's get into it. All right, so the episode picks back up. We're at this event sponsored by Wendy and Giselle. It's a potluck family gathering. All the kids are there, the spouses, the mates, etc. And so they are actually confronting Miss Angel about her so-called eviction, non-eviction, whatever you want to call it. So she explains to them that basically they just did not find the house that they wanted in Potomac in the time that they thought they would. And so they had to go move out of the rental they were in and go back to Colorado. So the episode goes into the explanation of what an eviction is, which I thought this was really petty. But then again, I thought about this is Housewives, this is reality TV, and they make a mountain out of molehills often. So they're talking about the definition of eviction. So basically, Ashley and Stacey is who they scan to their confessionals. Sorry, y'all. To the confessionals, and they're basically co-signing on the fact that she was evicted. I don't know. And at this point, honestly, y'all, I don't really care because Angel comes off as a mean girl to me. I'm sorry, she does. I'm trying to like her. But every scene is like she just gets more, I don't know what it is. Angry, bitter, no one's going to check me. I understand it's the first season, but still, give me something to go with, Now, the next couple of scenes were just, they were playing the games while they were there with the people and the gathering and such. They did I think they did a one-legged race. This is pics of the tug of war. So they did that. Everybody ate, they talked about potato salad, this, that, and the third. But what was very interesting to me was the end of this scene, which inspired the title of this video. Ashley legs wide open, Darby. Ashley mouth wide open, Darby. Ashley Darby is a 403 if I've ever seen one. Y'all, this girl, oh my God. So this scene is one where Ashley is out to lunch or dinner or what have you with Charisse and Giselle. So before we get to this scene, there's another scene at the actual party where Charisse's son, I forgot his name, Tyler, Taylor, something, I don't know. Don't start me the line. But we're just going to talk about what transpired. So the son shows up to the party. Ashley wasn't sure he was going to be there, so she was acting kind of awkward around him. And, and then they finally flash back to that scene where she's out to lunch with the ladies. And she tells Charisse that some party or something that they went to, he made sure she got home. And he came in to use the bathroom. And then he grabbed her and they kissed. Like, are you for real? First of all, how old is this baby? I know he's probably in his 20s. I don't know. I have a child in my 20s, so that's why. No disrespect. I understand he's an adult, young adult. But how old is this baby? Like, for real. So why would you even kiss that's disgusting to me. That's like secondhand incest, in my opinion, when you are going to kiss your best friend's son. Like, how long y'all been friends? So you probably seen this young man grow up. You probably seen him in middle school or high school. Like, I cannot. So I don't know. So the ladies who heard about this at the party, Wendy was very shocked. She was trying to get the tea the whole time. Wendy was like, what? What's going on? What did she say? What happened? And so they talked about it. And then The confessional for Stacy. Stacy is like, I would have took that to my grave. Stacy, this is why I like you. I agree. I would have never said that to anybody, let alone in front of the group. But again, Ashley likes moments. Ashley likes to get attention. So, I think the far-fetched she is, that secures her spot on the show. I think that's what she may be thinking. And she's trying to secure a bag, which I get it. I understand it. Just don't like it. Think it's a little gross. And it was probably around the same time that her and Giselle did that dumb-ass dating show on Bravo. What was it called? Love Hotel. As dumb as it was, I watched, honey, because I love reality TV. And, yeah, that was a money grab. Let's move on. Now, they did have some filler scenes in between. I think it was a filler scene with Tia sitting around the table with her kids again. And there was another filler scene, I think, with Angel. And it might have been also a scene with Stacy, I think. But again, they were filler scenes, y'all. Now, what I wanted to get to, which was, to me, the best part of this entire episode, was I feel like we got a chance to see a really real side of Wendy and her family dynamic. There is a scene where she calls to speak to her dad, who lives in Nigeria. And, Nigerian culture, the way they respond, to certain things are a little different from, I would say, American culture. But she reached out to her dad. There was some kind of trip to Nigeria. They had a group chat, and her dad didn't wish her happy birthday. This is something she mentioned earlier in the season when she was sitting down with Eddie talking about it. And then so she reached out to her dad, and they talked. They had a really good conversation. And they ended up FaceTiming in the end, and Eddie was talking to him as well. And it was a good conversation. But it went to hell really quickly when Wendy's mom and sister came over to basically to hang out and look at the renovations that they did to the house. So I do have some screenshots of basically the scene where they're coming over to look at the house, the renovations. And the house is absolutely stunning to me. Looks really, really good as far as the renovations that they've done to the home. But again, they sit down and, they're talking about how wonderful the house looks. And Wendy decides to have a conversation about having a conversation with her father to her mother and sister. Her mother and sister were very dismissive of how she felt, didn't really care about how well or, the conversation went. I mean, Mama had no interest, and she was not here for it. She didn't want to hear anything positive about this man. And then she goes on to talk about growing up and raising her kids with the man that she was with, and he was not dependable. She worked 4 or 5 jobs to make ends meet for Wendy and her sister. And I understand that. I understand the dynamic. It happens very often. Not just in other cultures, but it happens very often in our culture, Black American culture, I would say, for real. But it happens more often than not. And I can understand where the mom was coming from, but I just didn't like how they were dismissive of how Wendy was feeling, her wanting to have a relationship with her father. And speaking from a personal standpoint, I get that. I've never been bitter. Me being a divorcee, I've never been the type to ever speak ill of my child's father, because it just doesn't help anything. It doesn't give good energy. It doesn't contribute to the situation in a positive way at all. But I digress. That's just my 2 cents. But they actually went in on Wendy, and I did not like how they were talking to her, and so much so that it escalated where they had to excuse the kids when they were in the kitchen, and then Eddie came in trying to diverse the situation. It was just very, very, it was very hostile and very stressful, and I understand Wendy. I feel her on that as far as being upset with how they're speaking to her. If she decides to make a decision to have a relationship with her father, she always feels like she's over there by herself, and the two of them are ganging up on her. So that's basically all I have for the episode. Tell me what you thought about it. Tell me what you thought about this last scene. Specifically, like I said, the mom's response to Wendy wanting to have a relationship with her father. She's obviously very, very grown, married, and has a family of her own. So there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with reaching back and trying to have a connection. But tell me what you think. Again, thank you for tuning in. I'm B. Renee. This is B. Renee Says. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of any video I drop. And until then, I will either see you or hear from you in the next video. Bye, guys. Merry Christmas.